Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Hundreds of public service workers battle the elements to let government know that they want what's owed to them.
Unrest continues as doctors sit out for a second day.
Unions representing public school workers give an update on school repairs.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Chanting, "We want our money," and "Minutes gotta go." Hundreds of public service workers marched in the pouring rain from Market Street to downtown Nassau this morning before protesting outside Cabinet Office. Led by trade union leaders, workers demanded that government pay outstanding money to them. Jared Higgs has more.
Hundreds of public service workers battle the elements to let government know that they want what's owed to them. The message from public service workers was clear.
I need my money, I need it now.
The workers, led by BPSU President Kimsley Ferguson, are protesting over government's failure to pay them a $1,200 lump sum totaling $20 million before the start of the new school year.
We are now beyond the $1,200 point now.
That's because the union's industrial agreement expired back in 2017. To make up for lost time, the union wants government to agree to a 3-year industrial agreement that would see a $250 base pay increase in year 1, a $2,500 lump sum payment in the second year, and a $200 base pay increase in year 3.
We need to get an understanding from the Prime Minister as to how they're going to address the industrial agreements by virtue of the fact that nothing has actually been allocated. And so now we are just here to see the Prime Minister, to ask him some questions.
The Prime Minister never showed up though.
Mr. Prime Minister, we ain't gonna be here long, you know. This is ours. And we want it now.
The workers included employees of schools, ministries, and other government agencies. Shirley McPhee is a security supervisor at Uriah McPhee Primary School. She says she lost her home earlier this year, and her son, who has 4 children, is unable to work after an accident.
I don't have no home. I live from family member to family member. My house got burned down January 20th. I left with the clothes on my back. Everything was destroyed. And I don't have nothing, no incomes, except for my little salary with tie up. And so I have to help the grandchildren get ready for school because my son can't work.
Several other workers expressed similar views, demanding what they say they are owed.
Sometimes you got to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you fall for it. It's about the future of the nation. It's basically about only us.
The cost of living has gone up desperately. You're cutting off people light, all the people appliances can get destroyed.
The government is now in breach of the industrial agreement, and not only for us, but for all public officers, because it affects all of us. Finance
Minister Peter Turnquest has come under fire from union leaders for suggesting that they could be a fly in the ointment that could throw government off its fiscal targets. Some protesters insisted, though, that they would take to the streets again and again.
Tomorrow. The Bahamian people is sick and tired of this government.
VAT went up 12%. All these things you got to take into consideration. You got to pay light bill for what you ain't getting now. People fed up BC going crazy. People fed up with everything.
Labour Minister Dion Folk says the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet will meet with union leaders at police headquarters on Saturday. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
Meanwhile, doctors are on strike for the second straight day despite a meeting with the Prime Minister on Wednesday afternoon. Leaders of the Bahamas Doctors Union say they refuse to return to work until a concrete plan is put in place to resolve their issues. Jillian Gray reports.
Doctors withdrew their services for a second day today and said they will not go back to work until all of their concerns are heard. Members of the doctors' union met with Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis yesterday after walking off the job. Dr. Melisande Bassett said that meeting went well, but until they see an actionable plan, they will not return to work. Dr. Bassett said while receiving holiday pay tops the list, it's not all about money.
Despite what everybody else is saying and what persons are saying that this is all about money, this ain't about money. This is a principle. This is a fundamental right that every Bahamian is afforded under law.
The BDU president said they have asked the PHA to provide housing for their interns, sleeping accommodations for doctors in Grand Bahama, and make the BDU the bargaining agent for dentists in the country. However, none of those concerns have been addressed. She said their biggest bone of contention is PHA continues to issue one-year contracts to doctors. Dr. Bassett said if they don't stop, neither will their strike action.
There is no rational reason for wanting to do that other than oppress your employee. We've asked them on numerous occasions to desist, to follow our industrial agreement. They've refused. This is another issue, a matter of contention that we have filed a dispute with labor on. Now PHA has refused to attend those meetings on 2 instances. So what other recourse do we have but to, again, seek strike action? We're trying to avoid that. That's why we need this dealt with. Otherwise, we're going to be here again next week or next month.
Some doctors have reportedly not been paid for holidays since 2010. While Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands said it's difficult to determine who worked those shifts, the BDU says that's not their concern.
We can't prove that we worked the holidays now because we turned in all of those forms to PHA. And some physicians don't have record of that. That is the problem. We have a system in place for recording the times that you work. We turned the forms in, they collected them, and in the past, we received payment for it.
The BDU will be meeting with the health minister today and with PHA officials on Monday. If all goes well, they say they'll be back to work. In the meantime, some doctors remain on call to respond to emergencies. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
A 20-year-old man is dead after police say he was shot while sitting on a staircase of a home just off Caplan Road last night. The incident occurred during a blackout in the area. Press liaison Shanton Old said a lone gunman walked up to the man and opened fire.
Upon their arrival here at Martin Close, they confirmed that information, that a young man was sitting on a stairway along with others when they were approached by a lone gunman who opened fire in their direction, hitting one of them and, of course, fatally wounding him. We are appealing to those who may have seen or heard anything that can assist us with this investigation to please give us a call at the Central Detective Unit.
The victim has been identified as 20-year-old Ashton Smith. The area quickly became crowded with onlookers as police processed the scene in the rain. This killing came 2 nights after a double homicide in Pinewood Gardens. Superintendent Shanton Old says at the moment police can't make a connection between the 2 incidents and have no motive.
At this time, we can't say that. We will investigate both incidents on their own merits, and if we determine that they are connected, then of course we will work with that. But at this time, we are working these as separate investigations.
A tour of at least one government high school has revealed it will not be ready for teachers to return to the classroom next week. Education officials and executives of the Bahamas Union of Teachers and Bahamas Educators Managerial Union toured C.R. Walker Senior High School this morning. However, it was revealed that extensive work is still ongoing just days before 1,000 students head back to the classroom. Jasmine Brown reports.
With public school students set to head back to the classrooms in just over a week, the rush is on to complete school repairs. Nowhere was the rush more evident than at C.R. Walker Senior High School, where dozens of construction workers endured rainy conditions to finish reconstruction of the school's entire second floor and extensive roof work. BUT President Belinda Wilson insisted she was there to get answers.
When the teacher's calling me, it's me who got answers, so I'm here to do a thorough whatever, and I can answer that. If you got a problem with anything, I'm in the house, that's good for them. I got a job to do and I'm going to do my job. Who got a problem? Everybody, let's good for yours.
School Principal T. Nicola McKay says the repairs are long overdue, but admitted they are also way behind schedule.
Over the previous years, they would have come in and seen the deterioration that was going on, knew that it would be a massive task and waited for the right time. We have extensive work going on to all of the major buildings, but it's something that had to be done.
With the work far from finished, McKay says they will not be able to welcome 75 teachers back to the campus next week, and they may not be able to accommodate 1,000 students on the first day of school on September 2nd. As a result, she says they are working on a plan B for both teachers and students that may mean implementing a shift system.
The plan is we are right now putting our heads together when we get word from the contractors as to the possible date. We're sitting together trying to come up with a plan to see where we can house the students. I don't know if there's anywhere else big enough to accommodate them. We may have to go on a shift system, but we're working on that plan.
But Wilson insists the last-minute rush for such a large project could have been avoided.
The work that's being done at C.R. Walker is major work. I think that the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Works should have anticipated that this major work could not be done in that short time. School is going to open in a few days for the teachers.
C.R. Walker is just one of several public schools undergoing major repairs over the summer break. During the budget debate, Education Minister Jeff Lloyd told Parliament that during the summer months, critical structural repairs would also be carried out at various schools in New Providence. He said those repairs were estimated to cost $12.65 million. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, Teachers Union President Belinda Wilson says it's not rocket science to realize that extensive school repairs cannot be completed in a few months. She accused education officials of pushing unrealistic timelines.
School repairs and the issues that are related thereto would become a thing of the past. So they would have the maintenance groups that are there that's doing the minor work throughout the year, and then the major work is sourced out in a timely manner, and that they be realistic.
BMU Secretary General Zane Lightbourne agreed and insisted changes need to be made.
The system itself needs to change. It's archaic, the way we do business. This is, no matter what government comes in, they're going to be faced with this challenge because they're facing the same system. And I think that every year when contractors look forward to summer doing the work, the summer season is basically our rainy season. So realistically, I don't know if this is wise to have major construction during the summer, knowing that you can't stick to timelines or your dates could be hindered by any type of weather, whether it be storms or just regular rainy months.
Still to come, the Bahamas fails to meet U.S. fiscal requirements. Plus, Fusion hosts an EduTech seminar. Stay tuned.